not my phone. Hey guys, I'm back. Very excited today, as you could tell by stuff. Tonight, I checked out a movie called Dead Again, directed by one Stephen M. Smith. Didn't forget. Just was doing something on the phone completely unrelated. Anyways, Dead Again, a movie about a rural village in which a cop just starting straight out of the police academy and an experienced older cop on their first day together, just kind of talking about stuff as people do in England, Britain, where, anyways, and a virus or alien invasion or something happens and some hijinks ensue. This is a horror comedy, or at least it's marketed as one. The marketing actually says Hot Fuzz meets Shaun of the Dead, and I could see the comparison. Sort of. So this is a really low budget movie, and I think I saw something about it being shot in 4 days, which makes a lot of sense. And so I'm going to be generous in saying a few things. I think there's moments in this movie where it gets that tone right. You know what I mean with the Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz comparison. There's a certain kind of British humor along with the look and the characters. It kind of works. The two main leads, I think they fit the roles. I don't think the writing was very good. I don't think the humor really works, but I do think that in moments they capture the right tone where it could work. But overall, this movie's kind of a mess. It does try, I will grant it that, and there's some cool locations. They shoot a lot of it in like this old manor that's old decrepit and stuff, and it works. I don't think it really mixes its humor with its horror stuff very well. There's very specific moments where it's now supposed to be funny, and then they take the rest of the stuff deadly serious in a way that really doesn't work because they're just not really doing the horror very well. I mean, they're not doing the humor very well either, but like I said, it's closer. It's certainly closer. It's a zombie-esque movie, and you know, it's got some twists, and I think I just hurt myself. Owie. But the zombies have zero makeup. There's a few moments where they're like, the one has like mutated looking hands or something, but it's basically just like cheap gloves. But that's what you get, is a bunch of people running around in the woods where they splashed a little bit of fake blood on them, and then they make like dinosaur noises that they added in. And it feels cheap, and it looks cheap, and it is cheap. The story's nothing particularly new or mind-blowing in any way. Kind of tropey, very predictable. Most of the kills, if not, I think all of them, maybe there's not, most of them at least, are off-screen. You'll see people go, "No, not the zombie." Well, not whatever, there might not be zombie. And then it cuts as the hands come in. But then near the end of the movie, it turns into like an all-out action movie where there is a lot of kills of zombies on screen, but it's mostly just like CGI blood effects. So that wasn't fair, what I said earlier. There are kills on screen, but your characters where you're thinking like, oh, they're gonna get ripped apart by zombies, never shown. So it's an ambitious movie. If you're making a movie in 4 days, this is kind of a weird choice. Like, especially if you have that old manor location, which they had, and maybe that's why it was only done in 4 days. Because I think you could do something there interesting. And like I said, the location looks cool. The lighting is hit or miss. Half the time it doesn't even look like they're using any lighting. Other times it's like right there in the shot. But the two lead actors, let's talk about them. I think they kind of work. I think if the writing was stronger, they would really work. So I guess what I would say about this movie is, if you made it or if you were involved in it, I think there's something close here to working. I do feel like it was rushed, and it feels rushed, and I'm pretty sure the creators know that as well. So knowing how quickly this movie was made, knowing how many shortcuts had to probably be made, I think if you took another crack at this whole idea, because I think it's fun, I think if it was funnier, and the humor intermixed with the horror, so it was kind of like zany horror action as well, could really kind of work. I think the humor needs punched up a bit, because Most of the jokes, if not all of them, didn't really land. There's a bunch of meta humor where they're talking about other movies. The pacing is pretty quick. I think the opening takes a little while. They're trying to establish characters, and some of those moments are okay, but it does take like 25 minutes to get into the action. But once you get into the action, it doesn't hold back. It's very fast-paced at that point. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's all pretty predictable, like I said, but it goes quickly enough. And so that's the thing. This movie is like an hour and 15 minutes long or something, so they're not really trying to waste your time. I've watched a lot of movies where they completely pad stuff out to try and get like to an hour and a half, and I appreciate that they didn't do that at least. So I would rather have a short film like this than a padded out one with the same amount of plot, if that makes sense. So I'm being very generous to this movie because I get it. I get what they tried to do in such a short time with so little money. I don't think most people will be as generous as I am. I don't think most people will like this movie. Even big zombie fans, there's not much here, nothing really new to bring to the table. And the humor really isn't that great either. So I do say you should probably skip this one. It's not very great. But if you are interested in very, very micro budget movies, maybe give it a chance. It's out now. It's called Dead Again. That's going to do it for this episode. If you like what you heard, seen, let me know down below. Tell me what I should be watching, and I will catch you here next time. Goodbye.